Well, good evening and welcome to the Leopard Lair. I'm your host, Jon Aljancic, and thanks for joining us tonight. We have a very special guest as we get ready to talk about some preseason football. But before we do that, we want to thank our sponsors, the law firm of Guiley & Guiley, as well as Dr. Mike Thomas Dental and Associates. So we really appreciate their support and help to bring you as much coverage of Leopard athletics as we can. So tonight we've got a very special night, very special program. We're here with Coach Chris Kappas, our new Louisville football coach. Well, I should say not new anymore. 3 months ago you were new, now you're a grizzled veteran. That's so right. Chris, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me back. Excited to be here and really feel like I'm a veteran now in Louisville.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk about those first 3 months. So coming here to begin with, obviously your first foray, we've kind of talked a little about your college career as a coach. Now in the foray of high school football, how have those first 3 months been so far?
Been really good. Kind of exactly what I expected in terms of, really trying to go in every single day and earn the trust and respect of the players. Really trying to get to know them, for them to get to know me, get comfortable with who I am, and then really trying to build this coaching staff and build the schemes that we're going to do. But the most important thing that I think that is really, really going well is building that relationship with the players, getting them to believe in each other, believe in themselves, believe in our staff. And I think, we're really hit the ground running. There's a lot of excitement from not only the players, but the staff and, everyone involved. So it's going well.
Awesome. Well, I know the community is very excited as well. So maybe one last question about you before we kind of get into the team, but how has that adjustment been from being a college coach to now, heading your own program here at the high school level? How has that, how have you navigated that change, I guess?
It's been good. I think the biggest difference is the younger players when you're in high school versus the youngest players when you're in college. Those young players, the freshmen, they're men.
Yeah.
Where now, dealing with kids that are, 8th graders, 9th graders, that, are a lot less developed and, not only physically, but socially, and really trying to teach, learn how to handle those guys and push the right buttons to get them motivated. So dealing with younger men, which is a great challenge. And then, going from being an assistant to a head coach now, just all the fundraisers that we got to work about, planning the schedule, communicating with parents, all the things that a high school or that a head coach has to deal with, learning some things on how to handle paperwork and all those things, because everywhere's different. So I think that's actually been a fun part of the challenge so far, is trying to figure those things out, juggle your time a little bit more but still find time to have time for the X's and O's and the relationship building and all those things that come with true football. So.
Sure. And those young men, especially if you talk about those 8th graders, freshmen, not only teaching them about life, but, a lot of those guys haven't lifted before. So teaching them proper mechanics and whatnot when it comes to the different lifts. So that being said, let's talk about the off-season workout program so far. Any couple of guys that, a few guys that may have stuck out to you at this point in terms of work ethic, leadership, that type of stuff?
Yeah. There's quite a few guys that will be seniors next year that are just busting their tail every single day. They're consistent. They're coaching up their teammates, and then they're attacking it themselves they're really starting to see results and believe in the program that Coach Kwasnicka, who's doing a fantastic job, is putting on in there. But guys like Will Ramsey, be a senior linebacker, running back, tight end type player next year. Tate Golden, receiver. Braden Hershey, guys like Carter Dusky, Cyrus Wright, Brady Hawk, who's not 100% right now, but he's in there every single day, busting his tail. Those guys have taken the bull by the horns. I think they love football like I love football, and they want this team to be really good, and they're tired of not being as successful as they wanted to be. So I think there's a real good solid core of guys that are going to be seniors that are going to lead this program, and we've talked about this, that we want them to leave their mark on this program. Whatever's happened in the past in Louisville football, good or bad, in reality, for next year, that means nothing. So what legacy are they going to leave? And, to build this program from right now moving forward, they can be the key class that says, when these young guys, these to-be freshmen, to-be sophomores are seniors, hey, how was I treated by the senior guys? Yeah. And that's always my message to those guys is they gotta bring those young guys along and to do things the way that maybe they wish they were treated when they were young players. So those guys are really buying in, and you can see they're hanging on every word that myself and our staff is saying to them, so it's exciting to see that they're hungry, that they want to be great, and they want to be coached, and they want to be pushed, which is awesome.
Awesome. You can definitely work with that.
No doubt. Yeah.
And so, these first 90 days have been wonderful in the weight room. I mean, fast forward, you're looking at about 120 days before that opening night down in New Philly at Quaker Stadium. What do the next 4 months look like as you prepare for that opening night against New Philadelphia in terms of continued off-season workouts, camp days, that type of stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, biggest thing is we get a lot of kids back from baseball and lacrosse once those seasons are over, and really try to hit the ground running as soon as that summer starts with a really very detailed plan for weight training, speed and agility, and then trying to get our players into football mode. The OHSAA passed a rule where now we can have 13 organized practices before preseason camp actually starts. So, really trying to get that calendar situated where we can be as efficient as possible with getting brand new offensive, defensive, and special team schemes installed is not easy to do, just even with 13 opportunities to do that.
Yeah.
So, we're as a coaching staff, we're trying to really lay out, okay, what are the most important things to install early on in summer versus things that we can wait until maybe preseason camp starts or the end of summer that, this is going to be our identity on offense. This is going to be our identity on defense. This is what kind of punt scheme we're going to run. So really trying to get those core schemes installed early in the summer, run in some 7-on-7s, we'll do some 7-on-7 opportunities this summer versus some other schools or a group of schools or tournaments. So we'll have a couple opportunities for the guys to get out and compete and practice, our schematics versus some other teams, not just ourselves, which will be great. And then, one thing that I'm really trying to do with this program is I'm really trying to bring our freshmen into being a big part of our varsity program.
Sure.
So, they'll still play their own schedule and everything, but I think it's very important for those players to learn when they're young how things operate and what the expectations and the standards are and what practice looks like. So, really trying to get those guys involved and have a great plan for them as well throughout the summer to get those guys opportunities to kind of get acclimated to what we're trying to do.
Okay, sure. Now you talked about identity a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of further along with that, what kind of identity do you want your football team? And we can kind of get into X's and O's a little bit later, but more so, what identity do you want your football team to have that, again, come Friday night, the opposing team that has an idea of what's coming at them?
Mm-hmm. Well, we talk about our brand of football, right? So our brand of football, when you turn on the tape, it's going to be a team that plays fearless, fast, and physical, right? Fearless meaning anyone, anytime, any place, right? Doesn't matter who we're playing, you're coming out, you're getting our best shot.
Yep.
Fast, right? Meaning not only physically fast, but mentally fast, being well prepared, keeping it simple for the guys to understand and execute it at a very high level and be able to think fast and operate fast, as well as some tempo stuff and playing physically fast as well, but then physical. A team that's gonna, I always tell our guys, like, we're gonna be a defensive mentality team. We're coming out, we're flying around, we're trying to punish the ball carrier every chance we get. We're trying to punish the quarterback every chance we get when it's a pass. And our offense is going to take on that mentality as well. Aggressive, punishing, and physical, right, with a defensive mentality. And then, we're going to be explosive. There's going to be the highlights are going to be there just by the style of defense we're going to play, the style of offense we're going to play. There's going to be big plays being made, and that's an exciting style of football to watch and be a part of. So I think it's going to be fun for those kids to really be a part of that and learn a lot of football as well. But fearless, fast, and physical, and a team that's going to play with their hair on fire, and going to make people say, like, win, lose, or draw. That team comes out of the other team walks out the field, they're going to say, man, that team plays hard, and I don't know if I want to play that team again.
Wow.
So that's the goal, and that's what we're going to demand.
It's exciting. Mm-hmm. I tell you what, you're getting me excited right now to go try to hit something if I could get out of this chair, unfortunately, but I'm a little slower now. But kind of going from that, your philosophy and your identity, how do you download that in the scheme now? Like what, like, you've seen some of your personnel, your whole team hasn't been together that much just yet, but in terms of scheme, what is that looking like so far going into the fall? Compared to maybe the preconceived notions that you might have had, like what you wanted to run, like
Sure.
What are we to expect this fall in terms of scheme?
Yeah, I mean, I think coming in, I had a preconceived style of defense, style of offense that I wanted to run, and I was hoping that there was the type of players available to run that, because it's always going to go. Your players got to be first, then you'll get into the formations and the plays you're going to run offensively and defensively. And I think we have a tremendous amount of skill and athletes. Line wise, we got guys that can really move their feet well and stretch the field, as well as some guys that are thick, big, heavy guys that can hold the point of attack, or really come down on a big power block, whatever that is, run wise. But I think our personnel does fit the style of play that I want to defend or want to play. Offensively, those are more open type of sets that are going to get the ball into space to athletes and force teams to defend the whole field, both horizontally and vertically, right? And the hardest teams to defend, especially college football, the teams that have explosive style of offenses that take their chances down the field and come up with some maybe some eye candy here or there that's going to get their best players the ball in the most beneficial ways possible to get them, use their skill sets, whether it's speed or quickness, and then defensively, an attacking style of defense. I mean, I think that's always what our defenses have run, no matter where I've been, and we're going to continue to be a very aggressive attacking style of defense that's going to make both play callers and quarterbacks very uncomfortable. So you're not really sure of what's coming, and make some people kind of take some guesses on where it's coming from and when it's coming. So that's it, and that's to me that's the funnest style of play to do too. So I'm glad that the players will kind of fit those schemes we wanted to do coming in, and so
cool. Well, how has this been on a personal level in terms of you for the last number of years you've been living down in the Nashville, Tennessee area, now moving back here with your two wife and two young kids? How has that been for you on a personal level?
It's been awesome. It's been very refreshing. Like I tell my wife the other day, like I've never spent this much time with my family ever, really, because ever since we got married and had kids, I've always coached college football, and there's always a recruiting aspect of it. There's always being out on the road, doing this, doing that, camps in the summer and whatnot. And right now, just being at school and then going to Lifton, and then I maybe have some things to do after that to finish up. But I'm picking up my kids pretty much every day from the babysitter and going home, and I'm there for dinner, and so it's been very, very rejuvenating. To spend that time with my wife and my kids, and I'm coaching my boys' 5 and 6 year old soccer team right now. So that's been fun too. So
they've been playing fast and fearless as well.
They have been, actually.
Hopefully not too physical on the pitch, though.
It's YMCA balls. We're not safe if we won or lost,
but but we're doing all right.
We're doing all right, yeah.
So, well, Chris Kappas, we really appreciate you coming back to the Lair and spending some time with us. And as we get close to the season, I'm sure we'll have some more dialogue here as we prepare for that first game again, about 120 days away, down in New Philadelphia. So, Coach, really appreciate you coming to the Lair.
Sir, thank you.
It was great to catch up with you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So,
always a pleasure.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. We appreciate you taking the time to watch us. And once again, we want to thank our sponsors, Dr. Mike Thomas, Dental and Associates, as well as the law firm of Guiley & Guiley. Much appreciated. And once again, Thank you very much for tuning into us, and have a good night, everybody, and go Leopards.